this thing was not handled properly in the fact that the warden at the penitentiary, Bob Raines, did not report this murder, this killing, to the county attorney's office and has not reported it up until now. The county attorney had to learn about it through the press, which carried the announcement by the warden that it was an accident.
Now, how does the Board of Affairs figure in this?
The Board of Affairs are the board who has the jurisdiction and supervision of all the penal institutions in the state. Now, Mr. Raines has made the statement, as well as Mike Pedrick, the Republican member of the Board of Affairs, that they conferred upon this matter Thursday night before any release was made to the press, and before the report was made to the press that it was an accident.
I wouldn't advise you to take any pictures of me.
Got a preliminary report on it, but we're not in any position to release it yet.
Yes, on the night that this accident happened, we immediately called the sheriff in Pittsburgh County, Clarence Hurt, to come out and investigate the accident. He arrived on the scene very shortly after it happened and made a complete and thorough investigation. We were also fortunate at that time of having Ray Page, Assistant Commissioner, who was down at the institution at that time going over security problems, and he also viewed the scene where the accident happened. Both of these gentlemen are very qualified in their field, and I have the utmost confidence in their opinion.
I do know that morale, not only among the convicts, but among the guards and employees, is at its lowest ebb. And in my opinion, unless and until we get a competent person to administer that institution, it's sitting there now as a powder keg and is liable to blow up any day.
And I still have the same doubts about whether Oklahoma, with the maze of boards that we have now, is going to accomplish any particular reform by creating another board.
We went into the garage. That's the only place we knew to go, was in the garage, and we'd always said that we would lay next to the foundation if a tornado ever hit. So my wife and my mother-in-law and I, we just came out the door and just fell down there, and just our dog was in the garage, and he just ran over with us there, and we was all right there. And the car was sitting right here, and blew the car around and blew stuff on top of the car, and blew away a washing machine that was sitting there by us, and a cabinet was sitting there. And that's about all I know. It seemed like it was about 3 or 4 minutes. It was all over.
We'd like additional troopers. Take this. I certainly would like to suggest that, if possible, we raise their salary, the base salary, to $400 a month. They need it. They haven't had a raise since 1952. And I think we all know the cost of living has certainly gone up since then. We also would like to have enough money in our appropriation for to cover our patrol schools, which we'll have to have if we do have new troopers.
Well, you mean to tell me that you don't have enough money for patrol schools, and yet you're buying automobiles for a rescue squad and hats and everything like that, and you need more troopers?
Yes, sir, we need them.
Incompetency, if I may say so, of what is going on over there now in the Department of Public Safety. And I think we should enact laws here that would bring back to the patrol the confidence of the people of the state of Oklahoma, rather than get them in the doldrums in which they are now in, and put them back on the road what they were first intended to do, and then let the Crime Bureau take over from there and let them enforce the laws, and that's what we set them up for in the first place. Don't see how we can condone a situation here of buying panel trucks and buying hats and everything like that. We don't even have enough money to train young men to take care of the protection of the highway.
Joe, you once made the statement that you never care to coach any other college team except Notre Dame. May I ask you the reasons for that statement?
Virgil, that's not difficult to answer because I was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, and ever since I was a youngster and started to compete in football on a sandlot level and then into the high school level, I had the opportunity to follow Notre Dame football fortunes. And after enrolling at Notre Dame and performing there on the gridiron, it was my ambition to someday come back and coach the university if the opportunity arose. And fortunately, that opportunity arose this past year, and I certainly am happy and pleased about it, and I'm looking forward to a real interesting future.
What kind of a year do you think the Notre Dame football team's going to have this season?
At this time, it's extremely difficult to even make any type of prediction since we have not seen any of our squad in action. We will start spring practice on the 11th of April, and after 20 sessions, I think our staff will have a fairly good idea of the capabilities of any and all boys on the squad, and from there on in, we'll make our plans for the fall season.